Trouble in Paradise podcast is intended for mature audiences. This means you will hear realistic adult language such as and go off. Audience discretion is advised.
What is knob polishing?
You're gonna make me say this. I am a neglected man.
I like to think that I look like a jack, even though my name's really Bob.
Does he have danglers or something?
Well, it's time to go do them lighthouse duties.
Sitting in the cheese at the old Walmart to cool off.
That should be the headline. Man tasered in the nuts after stealing beef.
Yeah, but you're not gonna sit in the cheese. You're not gonna sit in the cheese, and you're not gonna put ribeyes down your pants either.
House cleaning is secondary. So what is the Viagra triangle?
Possibly we aid in your digestion.
I don't know if his little hand is smaller than his little ears or what.
Aw, well maybe he has a syndrome.
Want to go check out my RV? It's parked right around the corner. Because I'm pretty sure that I saw some moose knuckle.
No.
There is absolutely some moose knuckle going on.
My swampy friend. What the hell is a swampy friend?
I know. So they're not going to get any scraping on their shaft.
Yes, I'm gonna do a downward dog.
Okay, pretty lady. You had on those gosh darn sexy leather looking shorts.
Ladies and gentlemen, and assholes, gather round. It's time for another action-packed episode of
Trouble in Paradise.
Hi, I'm Nigel Kent.
And I'm Jazmine Starr.
Welcome to Trouble in Paradise.
The podcast that covers politics to the paranormal, conspiracy theories to crazy Karens, and all the weird news in between from our studios in Southwest Florida.
And boy, oh boy, do we have some exciting news. But first, I want to tell all of you how we just gorged ourselves on agriculturally significant amounts of pork. And I thought it was quite delicious. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
It was good.
Yeah.
Those carrots were really good.
They were terribly good. I couldn't stand how awesome they were.
They were as orange as the outfit that you're wearing.
Well, I have come in full regalia. I am prepared for this evening, as I am decked out with my do-rag.
I see.
I was just released today. I didn't even have time to change. I had to hurry home and get ready for the podcast because it's episode 48.
That's hard to believe. 48
of Trouble in Paradise.
And what were you in for, Nigel?
I was in for gross acts of truth and liberty.
Oh.
And disturbing displays of independence and freedom. But I'm out now. So, and I'm sure after this video, it won't take me long to, get right back.
Get back into jail.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing to people now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, we celebrated a, terribly not transparent election about a week ago, right? What's today, Tuesday? Yeah.
You're asking me?
Well, I mean, you're the expert. I'm just the co-host, man. So, but yeah, we actually decided that this evening we're going to do something really, really different. Jasmine's going to tell you how to get a hold of us, and then I'm going to tell you about that.
Yes, you can get a hold of us at Tipcast239 on Twitter, Trouble239 on Instagram, trouble@trouble239.com to email us, Trouble in Paradise on YouTube, audio versions on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Stitcher, and check out Patreon at patreon.com/trouble239.
Now, Jasmine, what in the world is going on? Real quick, before we dive into our main subject tonight, which I assure you is going to be a smorgasbord of extravagant awesomeness.
A buffet?
It's going to be a buffet. It's going to be a buffet of amazingness. But I need to know, Jasmine Starr, what in the world is going on? Like, how come all the QAnons are so comfortable with everything that's going on right now? I'd like to hear your theory.
Oh, you just said the word that is going to put up Wikipedia on our thing again.
QAnon?
Yes.
QAnon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Are we getting shut down already?
No, I actually need you to talk for a few minutes while I make sure that we're live streaming. So,
all right.
Yeah, what's your theory on why all the QAnons are so comfy with everything that's going on right now, right?
Well, because they are steadfastly standing behind POTUS and the belief that this is all part of the plan.
All part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan.
Okay. All right, live chat is working. That's what I had test.
All right.
And, there are some fantastic QAnons out there.
Yeah. But you know what? There's a huge number that are bailing off of Twitter.
Twatter.
Yeah. And they are...
they're getting banned. One of the two, right?
They are getting banned, but they are switching over from Twitter to Parler. Parler is seeing a surge.
That's French, right? Parler.
They're seeing a surge of patriots that are joining there. So,
well, it was the French who supported the revolutionaries during the Revolutionary War. It was also the French who supported the Confederate States of America during their separation or attempted separation from the Union.
Oui.
Parler. Yes. I can't tell what's going on right now because it's too small. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to read the chat. The problem is I'm old. So it says, Kim AZC1, hello. I sent a tweet of you both. Thank you.
Hey, all right. Thank you.
Kim SZC1. Hello, heart emoji. And so here's our subject for tonight. Are you ready for some outrageous only in Florida stuff?
I am ready for some only in Florida stuff.
Isn't it time to go back to having fun?
Yes.
Yes, it's been such a crapshoot the last couple of weeks.
Well, and I think, honestly, like, there's so much negativity out there. I think it's time that we just lighten it up a little bit just for an hour here and dip into some good old Florida stories.
What if I told you that there was a Florida man who stole a sheriff's deputy's cruiser and credit card because he claimed he was on a spiritual journey?
I would like to be on that spiritual journey too.
That's the kind of spiritual journey you'd like to be on.
I know. Do they have a high limit?
Let's find out. So this comes from brobible.com. Not one of my regulars, but this jumped across my headline, so I had to look at it.
Right.
What is it with Florida and stealing police cars? Last year, we had a slippery 30-year-old Florida woman in Alachua. Wow, is that like Matt Laka?
Oh my gosh.
That's okay.
Alachua County, escape her handcuffs and climb into the front seat and drive off in a cop car.
Wow. Okay. And then what?
Now we've got a 20-year-old Florida man named Duncan Smith spending some time in the Gray Bar Hotel after allegedly stealing a, wait for it, Alachua County deputy's cruiser from the Gainesville Regional Airport. Alachua County Police really need to start doing a better job at keeping an eye on their police cruisers.
I know, right? They're supposed to be security, right? And their cop cars are getting stolen.
In his effort to gain induction into the Dumb Criminal Hall of Fame, Smith was busted when video surveillance showed him leaving the airport in the vehicle. An airport with video surveillance.
No way.
No way.
Even dumber than that move, Smith was later charged with using a credit card he found in the stolen police car. Man.
Wait, what?
What did he have to get so bad that he would use?
Was it the cop's credit card?
It had to have been, yeah.
He was on a spiritual journey and needed to find a way home.
I bet. He was probably on a hallucinatory journey. And this is according to the CBS 4 news website. Here's a picture of Mr. What's this guy's name? Duncan Smith.
Duncan.
Here's a picture of Duncan. Does he look like he's on a spiritual journey to you? Doesn't have any dreadlocks yet.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, you're supposed to, okay.
I feel like I'm on a spiritual journey, and I don't.
You know what they said about John the Baptist, right? In the New Testament, He had dreadlocks because he was so dedicated to his spiritual journey that he abandoned all other pursuits, including keeping himself clean. So I think in order to be on a spiritual journey, you have to have dreadlocks, just like John the Baptist.
If you want a reading from me, you can reach me at NaplesPsychic.com.
NaplesPsychic.com. Yes,
and
indeed.
and no need for dreadlocks.
No. Well, I mean, if you have dreadlocks, that's okay. We
Yeah.
don't have a problem with dreadlocks.
No, we don't.
I don't have a problem with dreadlocks. Jazmine does, apparently.
I don't have a problem with dreadlocks.
So, a man on spiritual journey steals deputy's cruiser credit card. I think Shiloh's on a spiritual journey right now.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next Only in Florida story, and you're going to love this one. Florida man snatches woman's $5 bill, eats it.
What?
So here's, this is from WCJB, published on October 23rd, a couple weeks ago. Gainesville again. It says, Gainesville police arrested a man who stole and ate a woman's $5 bill. According to the arrest report, Henry Chambers Jr. snatched a $5 bill from Kadisha Grant's hand as it was being handed to her. The 60-year-old walked away, threatening Grant in the street. Chambers then said Grant would die before he returned the money, and proceeded to put the $5 bill in his mouth, chewing it and swallowing it.
Ew.
Chambers was charged with felony robbery by sudden snatching. that's felony robbery. Man, I went to jail one time for felony robbery by sudden snatching. Like, how do they?
What do you?
The prosecutor's like, no, this is my lucky day. I'm the prosecutor. There's an actual thing for this. It's called felony robbery by sudden snatching, and I think this will be the first time we've ever prosecuted it ever.
Florida statute.
Exactly.
And then what do you do whenever you go to jail and somebody's like, What are you in for? I ate a woman's $5 bill after I suddenly snatched it.
And it's bullshit, man. They gave me with sudden snatching. I worked on that shit all night. It wasn't sudden. There wasn't anything sudden about it.
It was totally premeditated.
You were about to say prenatal, weren't you?
Hey.
It was totally prenatal. She was pregnant. Alachua. This is the same place where the other thing happened. What are the odds?
Well, we know where
Mean
the
Street
stories.
running through Alachua, Florida. Is that how you say it?
Alachua.
We'd like to apologize in advance for the background noises. There were two snorty dogs in the studio. They're both quite happy and wagging their tails. And they're making some squeaking sounds.
Sounds of happy joy.
Yes. They're making joyful sounds.
They are.
So, okay.
I know, they're licking each other.
What it makes you wonder what Henry Chambers and Miss Grant, what's her name? Kadisha Grant.
Something had to have happened prior to this for him to just come up,
Do we dare watch the video to see if A, it crashes our live stream, and B, we can see what these folks look like?
No, I think that's something totally different.
Oh, that's something different, huh?
Yeah, no.
No.
Are
you sure?
Look,
it's a girl with helmet hair. It's like Nancy Pelosi's blonde cousin.
Police arrested a man who stole $5 from a woman. When he was told to give it back, he ate it. According to the arrest report, Henry Chambers Jr. snatched the $5 bill from the woman's hand as it was being given to her. The woman yelled and threatened Chambers in the street, so Chambers chowed down on the bill.
Chowed down.
Chambers was charged with felony robbery by sudden snatching and booked into the Alachua County Jail.
Okay, well, that was brief.
Wow.
Henry Chambers is, he just was like, watch this. $5 down the hatch. How much you want to bet it comes out and it's still somewhat intact? Because you know that money is made to be indestructible. The debt bills are made to be indestructible.
Well, if you held them up to light, would you be able to see the little strip that they put in the middle of the paper?
Well, I don't have to do that in $5 bills because that's only for like the high value stuff, the stuff that people actually spend time counterfeiting.
Oh.
Yeah.
The kind of stuff that you just got out for.
No, I was in there for felony robbery by sudden snatching. Okay.
I think you just want to keep saying snatch.
I think you're a pervert. But let's not get any rumors started, Jasmine Star.
No.
How about the Florida man, don't spit your drink. How about the Florida man who held a dog for $20,000 ransom? This just happened, okay? And by the way, we're in the midst of a very underwhelming tropical storm. This one's also in Gainesville.
In Alachua County.
This is where it's at, man, Gainesville. Jeffrey Paris, grand theft, extortion, and burglary. There's got to be more to this. I mean, look at this dude, right?
Okay, well, grand theft is anything in the state of Florida is anything over $300.
Wow.
Extortion, he's demanding $20,000 in return for the dog.
That's why they couldn't get the $5 bill guy on a grand theft. It could only be a felony robbery by sudden snatching.
Right.
Oh. I mean, if you dig deep enough, there's probably like a stupid charge for every little thing, right? Looking at somebody the wrong way.
Right.
Felony menacing by eyeball contact.
I want to hear the story because I want to know, like, if this is like an ex-boyfriend that is.
All right. Here,
like,
why don't you do the reading? You sounded great on that last one.
Gainesville, Florida. A man is behind bars on Wednesday for holding a dog ransom. Jeffrey Paris was arrested on Tuesday after burglarizing a home and holding a pet hostage in Gainesville.
Okay.
According to the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, Paris stole Paris stole $15,000 cash, 2 handguns, Louis Vuitton shoes valued at $1,000, and a Louis Vuitton hoodie style sweatshirt valued at $900. However, Paris also decided to take the victim's dog.
Time out. How is any hoodie valued at $900?
It's a Louis Vuitton.
Hoodie?
It's a Louis Vuitton.
No, it's not worth that. No, it's not worth.
You want to bet?
It's valued at $900 for a freaking moron.
Well, did I say I would buy it?
Anyway,
the victim told police the 34-year-old man was holding the pet on a $20,000 ransom.
I'm not certain that. Okay, the theft. Clearly illegal. This guy had an axe to grind, right? He stole this from who's the victim? His girlfriend?
No, I just said I was wondering.
Burglarizing a home. Oh man, they're not telling us who this person. There's a relationship there. There's got to be, right?
Investigators say Paris texted the victim for several hours. Okay, so this is obviously somebody that he knew ahead of time.
I love it how they don't tell the whole freaking story.
Talking about where to drop the money and threatening to harm the dog if the money was not paid. Deputies say one of these text messages read, Will I be
playing when I blow the back of her head off with your Glock?
Oh.
Uh-huh. The suspect also told the victim that he was watching him and would accurately state the victim's location. Okay, so this wasn't like a mail.
This is like a script of a movie.
Deputies were, I have a particular set of skills. Deputies were able to find a tracker underneath the victim's vehicle.
What?
Okay, what the? Okay, we're going to have to come back to this one. We might have to tell Ken and Lauren about this one. Ken and Lauren, Paradise After Dark podcast. Go check them out. They're great. True crime. This is true crime, right?
Wow, this has a lot of...
When the victim moved the meetup to the next day, Paris raised the ransom to $25,000. At this point, the dog owner was in contact with ASO. Okay, time out. Listen, can I take issue? These kids graduate from college, $200,000 in debt, as copywriters for news organizations, and they cannot write a fucking sentence. Okay? You see the problem with it? There should have been a period after that $25,000. $25,000. At this point, comma, the dog owner. That's a separate sentence. These poor children are being miseducated and undereducated, placed in massive amounts of debt, and then when they go to work in the news industry, people like me make fun of them. Anyway, I'm sorry. What happened next, Jasmine Star?
The deputies took over the victim's phone to talk to Paris and organized a time to drop off the money for the dog. The deputies were able to identify Paris after seeing his car at the drop-off location. Maybe this is why all those MI just got laid off.
Because of the dog extortion?
ASO eventually stopped Paris, who was found with multiple stolen items. He was charged with armed burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, extortion, grand theft of a firearm, unlawful use of two-way communication device, and convicted felon on possession of a firearm or ammunition.
All right, so we've seen that unlawful use of a two-way communication device a couple times now. Like whenever somebody texts anything related to a misdeed. Right. Oh, let's add on unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Like, they're talking about walkie-talkies.
If somebody sends you, like, a
harassing text message?
Or a unsolicited picture.
Okay. Is that illegal?
But, I mean, could you say?
Hey, it's me! Hi! We've never met, but hi! I thought you would enjoy this portrait of me and my orange do-rag.
You know what I'm talking about. Could you say, like, text them back and say, this is, wait, what's the charge? Stop.
It's unlawful
use of two-way communication device.
Yes. Yeah. That's like texting a mean message, right?
Yeah.
Apparently that's unlawful. I would have been in jail 50 times when it came to my ex-wife with that shit. So here's Jeffrey.
You texted her pictures of?
No, I texted her mean stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that, what's that scene from The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, where Gollum's like, go away and never come back. Go away and never come back. And then he suddenly realizes that he's conquered it. And then he never had to say it again after that. It was pretty cool. So here's Jeffrey Paris. This is the guy that was charged with unlawful use of a two-way communication device for kidnapping his buddy's dog. I want to know the full story behind this. What happened that led up to this, right? What do you think they were arguing? Were they roommates before?
No.
Okay, well, color analysis from Jasmine Star, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
And moving on.
No, I would say that he was probably like a...
Can you think of anything better?
Like
what's the
maybe
best
like
thing
a previous employer or something like that.
Oh, it could be. Oh, like an old boss?
Yeah, and you had like some vendetta. You wanted to like...
Kidnap my boss's dog. Do you know how dead a motherfucker would be if they worked for me and tried to take my dog? It would be me in jail, not them. And you would end up with the dog. It's just, I know you know this already. Can you think of a better thing to do? I'm trying to do a segue here.
A better thing to do.
Can you think of a better thing to do with a whole bunch of hurricane debris? Well, let me just ask you this. What would you build with all the hurricane debris you could find, assuming you couldn't throw it away?
I'd build myself a house.
I'm going to make myself a house with this palm tree and this palm frond and
kind of debris?
And half of my neighbor's house that fell down.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's part of a roof.
Well, I like this guy. This guy decided to build a pirate ship.
Yes.
Yes. So this was earlier this year. It says, when Hurricane Sally knocked down his fence and hurled debris across the Florida Panhandle, John Robledo gathered up the hurricane's forgotten treasures and spent a month turning it into a life-sized pirate ship. This comes from the AP, motherfuckers. When Hurricane Sally knocked down his fence and hurled debris across the Florida Panhandle, John Robledo, is that Robledo? Is this guy Hispanic or Italian? It's either Reboledo or it's Reboledo. Anyway, he didn't just clean up his yard and call it a day, Jasmine Star. Instead, there's
a 17-foot by 10-foot tall pirate ship in his driveway, complete with a red treasure chest, 2 skeletons, and a skiff boat. Just in time for Halloween. That's pretty cool.
Now you get to say it.
Rebelliero built the boat using
Rebelliero?
mostly wood fencing that had fallen down, saying the more weathered and beat up, the better. It's been a boost for the entire neighborhood, even prompting one neighbor to dress up as Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Because people never do that on
pose
Halloween.
for pictures with local kids.
So original.
Rebelliero said,
Rebelliero. This guy's totally Italian. Now he's Cuban. He's Cuban now.
"Welcome to Southwest Florida."
But he's actually up there in the Panhandle. He's in.
I know. He probably is like, "What are they saying down there?"
My name is Rebelliero. Anyway. Okay.
But he said that a ship started out much smaller, something that could fit in the back of the car. But it grew as he continued to work on it. As Hurricane Zeta approached Wednesday, he said he was moving it into the family's garage for safety, but planned to put it back out on full display for his 3 kids and the rest of the neighborhood to enjoy.
The storm made landfall around Terrebonne Bay near Cocodrie, Louisiana. Everyone's had a rough year, and hold on, let me get Louisiana style. Everyone's had a rough year, and kids maybe aren't as cheerful these days because they're not being as interactive. Rebelliero told the Pensacola News Journal. So I don't know if Halloween will be the same, but there's this, and if it can crack some smiles and turn some attention away from some of the drama this year, maybe that's a good thing. Now we have to find out if there's a picture. Leave it to the AP to do a story about a pirate ship and not
Put a picture in there.
Hold on a second. We got to find this guy. What city is this in? Gulf Breeze pirate ship guy. Let's just Google it and see what happens. Gulf Breeze pirate
You're
ship
gonna get it.
guy.
There has to be images.
All right, here we are on DuckDuckGo.
Oh wait, there's the red.
Here it is.
Yep. Oh, look
that's
at
pretty
that.
cool, man.
He did a great job.
That's nice. So, for those not watching on YouTube, listening online, there is a. Let's just view this image full size. The guy's got a nice.
Look, he's got cannons and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is the guy that's dressed up as Captain Jack Sparrow. He does have a red treasure chest that looks like it was not built from hurricane debris. That's pretty cool. There's chains.
Yeah, no, you can tell it's like fencing and everything, but I
like it.
I like it
mean,
too, man.
that's better than the
Bravo.
one at the putt-putt golf course around the way.
Which one's that?
The one up in Fort Myers that we don't go to ever. Anyway.
Congo.
No, not Congo River.
No.
There's a pirate ship one. Like between Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach. Okay. It also has the alligators that you can feed, and they're not really alligators. They're like something else.
What?
Like baby alligators. You can feed them hot dogs, and they charge you $8 for a bite to feed them. You just bring your own hot dogs and get your hand bit off. It's a lot more fun. How about the Florida man that stole a bulldozer and knocked down a fence and stole Biden signs? Police said.
Was this before or after the election?
We're about to find out. Look at this. Look at this, though. Do you think these people have... Look at all the bars on their windows.
Do you think those are there before or after the election? Before they put the signage in their yard?
This just looks like a shit neighborhood. Look at the fence. Look how the fence is knocked down. Maybe this is because of the bulldozer.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Biden-Harris signs all over this. This is like... This guy has more Biden-Harris signs than anybody else in Florida has Biden-Harris signs.
This is more Biden-Harris signs than there were people at any of his speeches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. And they're much closer together than the people that were at his speeches.
I know.
In their little kindergarten bubbles.
I know. I'm telling you, that was like a shuffleboard court.
So a Florida man stole a bulldozer, knocked down a fence, and stole Biden signs, police said. According to Jacqueline Pizer of WAPO, Oh, here we go.
October 27th. So
this is before, a week before. And it's just going to be great because it's a WAPO story. It says residents in a predominantly black neighborhood in Haines City, Florida, knew something was off on Saturday when they saw a young white man driving a bulldozer on the street. You think? That don't look right. Something's off. Jacqueline Pizer, you get a raise, fucker. I'm tagging her ass when we post this. As he made his way down the block, the man began running over every lawn sign in sight supporting Joe Biden.
And we wonder why people wanted to pigeonhole.
All right, it says, "quote Ready for my impression?
Yes,
all right.
Go for it.
This man came onto my property, took the 2 Joe Biden signs I had in my yard, and then he came back with a bulldozer to run down my fence." Adam Burgess, a local homeowner, told Bay News 9. The man, later identified by police as 26-year-old James Blight, his name's Blight, was charged with grand theft auto and trespassing. Not destruction of property, just trespassing. The incident in Florida is the latest example of increased tensions before the election. Here we go with the propaganda. Thank you very much, Jacqueline Pizer. As yard signs and other public proclamations of support for either presidential candidate have become a point of contention and occasionally led to violence. Interesting stuff. So then they're going to, Haines City, blah, 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 blah. 40 miles southwest of Orlando. Wow, man. That does not seem like a real Democrat kind of zone, but I guess they'll take what they can get, huh? So, I mean, I feel bad for the guy that got his shit run over. It looks like he knocked down his fence.
Yeah. And there wasn't any, property damage on his charge.
Well, and it looks like all his Biden-Harris signs survived.
Well, maybe after the whole incident, he was like, it's okay, the fence was going to come down afterwards anyway.
He's like, thank you for the insurance claim. They're probably buddies. Like him and this Blight guy, they're probably like, watch this shit. Like, you're going to put up a whole bunch of Biden-Harris signs. I'm going to run them over.
We're going to get on the news.
You're going to pay my bail. We're going to be YouTube millionaires. And you're going to get a new fence for free.
And some podcast somewhere along the line is going to find our story, and they're going to pick it up, and they're going to talk about it on their podcast.
I guarantee you, Florida Men on Florida Men has probably already picked this one up. But, have they picked up this one? Florida man accused of setting his girlfriend on fire with cigarette.
What?
Now, how does this even happen? Let's do a couple what ifs real quick.
Okay.
How in the world, if you had a girlfriend, could you set her on fire using a cigarette?
You'd put an accelerant on her clothing, and
then put her clothing on her.
No,
or you'd pour the accelerant directly on her person.
Yeah, and then throw the cigarette on her. That's how I would do it.
So,
okay, so I would get some acetone.
Ooh.
Because if she were,
it's pretty girly, acetone.
Yeah. So she'd
readily available in a women's bathroom.
Right. Highly flammable.
Looks like she blew herself up with it.
Highly flammable. And then just kind of oops, she spilled some acetone when she was doing her nails and smoking a cigarette and.
What was that sound again? It was that fast. Ashes.
Just, she was gone.
And then you see the little cartoon angel going up to heaven immediately.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out what happened thanks to Kenneth Garger of the New York Post.
Watch, I'm right.
Stock photo of a cigarette. That's classy, New York Post. Way to put some effort into that. A Florida man was arrested Monday night for allegedly setting his girlfriend on fire, a report said. Noe Jimenez Cortez is accused of dousing his girlfriend with an accelerant. Ah, you called it, Jasmine Star. And igniting her with a cigarette early Monday morning, according to CBS 12. We may have to drill down on this. Citing authorities. The victim, who is in critical condition, told responding deputies that Jimenez Cortez intentionally set her on fire. The boyfriend fled the scene but was arrested Monday night. Charges against him are pending.
Now I feel awful making the sound after knowing she's in critical condition.
I also feel awful. Let's see what CBS 12. This appears to be the suspect here. This is from North Lauderdale, Florida. This is Mr.
Douche.
Mr. Douche right here. Wait, does he look pissed?
Yes, he looks angry.
What do you think he's mad about? A 40-year-old man is behind bars for the attempted murder of a woman in North Lauderdale. And Noe Jimenez Cortez was taken into custody Monday evening. Broward County, here we go. Deputies say Broward County Regional Communications received a suspicious incident call on Northwest 54th Street around 4:30 a.m. When they arrived, a woman told them her boyfriend, Jimenez Cortez, intentionally set her on fire. Jimenez Cortez fled the scene before deputies got there. The woman so they sent the volunteers. They sent the community patrol out there.
What? Where do you...
It says that they received a call about a suspicious incident. When they arrived, she told them that her boyfriend set her on fire, but he fled the scene before deputies got there. The woman was taken to a local area hospital. The preliminary investigation reveals that Jimenez Cortez poured an accelerant on the victim's body and ignited the fire with a cigarette. Jimenez Cortez was later found and taken into custody. When are we going to go back and do a recap of all these dumb stories that we've covered, to find out what actually happened? Like we can thumbs up and thumbs down what happened?
Well, what would we put at top of our list?
The guy with the tabletop game that wouldn't shut down during the beginning of COVID and got sent to jail.
The D&D store.
I actually think we should go there.
Yeah.
And we should take your son with his D20s. And his D6s and his D8s and his D10s. And just go sit down and be like, hey, man, we're here to play. And then, after a couple rounds, by the time we're to, level 3 or level 4, start interviewing about it.
Hash Brown's making her appearance in the...
Hash Brown, yeah. Hash Brown's on the show.
Hey,
Yay, Hash Brown.
Hey.
Okay, up next. Up next.
Man, that's just... Yeah.
It sucks.
Okay, so
I hope she's
D&D
okay.
guy. I would like to find out about the Florida Dog Man guy that was tripping out after watching that Florida Dog Man go through his backyard.
Yes. Well, you claim that it's just a reflection. It's just a reflection. That stuff's not real, says Jasmine Starr. That looked like a real dog man to me.
Well,
I've never seen one, but
kind of looked like it. Who knows?
It was really, really, to me, when I watched it,
It was
I was
interesting.
like, whoa.
It was interesting, but his reaction, he would be a great interview.
So, to the uninitiated, we're talking about a previous episode where we showed video of somebody purporting to see a dog man, which is a mythical spiritual creature, traveling through his backyard at an incredible rate of speed and freaking the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it was a great video.
The dude is sitting there doing his laundry.
He's shaking with the cigarette. He's like, dude, whoa.
Yeah, smoking the cigarette. The cigarette. Anyway. Okay. Well, Jasmine, what would you do if you found a catfish on the road because of a tropical storm? What would you do with that catfish?
You've seen me. What do I do with fish?
You eat them.
No, I don't.
You do eat fish. I've literally seen you eat fish.
No, but whenever a fish was on the beach, what did I do?
Gave it to the bird?
No, that was already...
The shrimp that you picked up and then the bird frickin' ate it? We have a video of that. You're really mean to fish.
Excuse me?
A shrimp is a fish, right? It's a shellfish, right? I think you're fish mean. I think you're cruel towards fish.
I rescued the fish.
I have seen you catch fish with hooks.
That is the truth. I do love to fish. Moving on now.
You even refer to the act of impaling them in the face with a metal hook as what they're actually called. That's how coarse you are.
What are you talking about?
You like to fish. That's so mean.
I like to go fish.
You actually call it that. You actually call it what they're called. You're so insensitive, Jasmine Star. I'm getting a little choked up.
So what would I do with a catfish on the street?
Here's what I would do. Okay.
I don't really like catfish, so I wouldn't eat it.
As I was saying, you were inhumane towards
And
fish.
they have little barbs and they can hurt you.
That's true. The first fish my son ever caught was a catfish, and it was a monster. But anyway, I just love this headline from Yahoo News. And if I can ever scroll up to it, because this slow, giant, old computer. Florida man moves stranded catfish into puddle after storm Ada floods southern part of state. Why is this news? Why is this the news? This was the most impotent tropical storm of all time. And this, so therefore,
they needed to find some destruction. We almost lost a catfish.
All right. But
Everybody...
They know.
We need to be on alert. Like, you know, the Weather Channel was probably out there filming too whenever he went to get the catfish. And they're like, ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep. And they know that if they lead off with the phrase Florida man, they're going to be able to put whatever they want after it. And some dingbat like me is going to pick it up. So here's the guy's video. This is the video of the catfish being, stranded catfish being rescued from the roadway after the storm. Look at that giant puddle from the tropical storm. Oh my goodness.
Isn't this one of the... Is that a blunt laying by it?
There, he threw him back in the water. Walking catfish going to go swim in the puddle.
And then just get back in the road.
Yep, probably. Yep, that's what they do. It's not even very deep. It actually kind of looks like my neighborhood a little bit. Yep, he's right back up there again. He's like, nah, I'm suicidal.
Yeah, no, like, what is laying beside it? It looks like a cigar or a blunt.
It's just a leaf. It's a leaf. All right, so that is the story. Yahoo News, thank you very much. Florida man moves stranded catfish into puddle after Storm Ada floods southern part of state. That's the news now.
Hey, is that Precious?
PF3. Precious Frito.
Precious, I love you.
We are actually costumed in your honor this evening, Precious Frito.
Well, he put on the Department of Corrections outfit.
We are doing an all only in Florida extravaganza tonight.
We needed to take a break from all of the stuff.
We're done with the stuff for now.
We just needed a break. So, yeah, we went back to our roots a little bit tonight.
All right. Coronavirus pandemic, CBS Miami. Here we go. COVID-19 increase. No, there are no dates. There are no time frames on this graphic, but they're letting you know. Just so you know, be afraid. Be very afraid. Okay, now the actual story. Florida man paid $150 for full contact exposure experience. Ended up mauled by leopard.
What?
You want to take this one, Jasmine Star?
In a case of you get what you pay for, a Florida man paid $150 for a full contact experience with a black leopard, and he ended up being mauled. Dwight Turner, 50, has undergone 2 surgeries since being attacked by the animal on August 31st. His wife, Natushka Turner, said in a sworn...
What's your wife's name? Natushka Turner.
In a sworn
You sound so
written
white.
statement to the... I am... to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC. Dwight Turner and the leopard's owner, Michael Poggy, 54, arranged for him to play with it, rub its belly, and take pictures on Poggy's property in Davie.
Why does this sound so stupid?
Florida Fish and Wildlife said in a captive wildfire report.
What is captive wildfire?
I don't even know. That's why I'm...
Who the fuck writes this shit? Who wrote this one? There's not even a... Oh, this is so terrible. There's no byline. Like, even the editor was like, oh, man, this is embarrassing. Like, they didn't even... Like, these guys write like...
After Poggy unlocked the leopard's cage, Dwight Turner entered and sat on a bench inside when the leopard growled and attacked Mr. Turner, biting him on the head and ear. Mr. Turner sustained injuries to the right side of his head and right ear. Mrs. Turner stated that she had to place part of Mr. Turner's scalp back in place because it was hanging from his head and his right ear was half torn off. Ew.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Poggy was issued 2 misdemeanor citations for allowing full contact with an extremely dangerous animal and with maintaining captive wildlife in an unsafe condition, causing extensive damage. CNN has made several attempts to reach Poggy without success, you think?
He can't hear him. Oh, wait, no. That's the owner.
The perpetrator, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
It is unclear whether he has a lawyer. I think it's clear if he's not answering the phone. His Zoom hearing, here we go, 2020. His Zoom hearing is scheduled for December 2nd, according to Broward County. Of course, it's Broward County. Only the most fucked up stuff happens in Broward County.
Or Alachua.
Remember, or Alachua lately, yeah. Remember Bush versus Gore? That's how we got those fraud-proof election machines. Poggy admitted to FWC investigators that he knew what he did was illegal and answered questions, but would not provide a written statement. Idiot. On his personal Facebook page, Poggy said he's an exotic animal breeder of rare or endangered species and has rescued thousands of exotic animals over the past 35 years. Thousands. That's
Facebook page called Poggy's Animal House, claiming to be an animal sanctuary, has been deactivated.
Okay, thousands. That means at least 1,000 over the past 35 years. That means he has 30 times 3 would be 900. So he's adopted somewhere in the neighborhood of a dozen or so animals, exotic endangered animals, every year, if that's true. Thousands over the last 35 years.
Well, I mean...
So dozens per month at that
I bet
point.
he has a lot of ball pythons.
Yeah, it could be. I kind of think that it's horseshit. The guy's going to jail. And but who's the dumbass that paid $150 for a one-on-one with a black leopard? Like, who does that? I want to go be with your black leopard.
That's something I would do now. Stop.
I'll pay you $150, and I will go be with your black leopard one-on-one on a personal basis only. There will be no multiple people, just me and your black leopard. Do we have a deal or not? Do we have a deal or not?
Well, I don't know. Let me ask Natushka.
I don't want you to ask Natushka. I want to know if we have a deal or not. $150.
Deal.
Let us begin.
So bad.
Okay.
Oh,
all right,
gosh.
Broward County, Miami. Okay, here we go. Up next, Florida man shoots, kills pregnant wife after mistaking her for intruder.
Yeah.
I got to warn you right now, the next couple are very serious. But the last one is like, yes. So let's find out what happened here. This was on November 5th.
The woman got set on fire. And now this?
It's okay if you like our video, PF3, although we're probably shadow banned by now. We've been offline for a long time, so thank you for trying. In the meantime, if you like us, go ahead and share it on your Twitter, for example. If you're still like us and you're using Twitter, go ahead and share it. We have a special story for you at the very end of this. It's really, really uplifting, and I'm excited about it because it has to do with one of the sports that I'm interested in. But before we get there, we have to cover 3 bullshit, depressing stories. So let's just power through them.
All right.
Stewart, Florida. A Florida man who thought he heard an intruder outside his bedroom door instead fatally shot his pregnant wife. The shooting happened just around 1:30 a.m. Wednesday when the woman's husband heard a noise outside the bedroom door of their home in Stewart. Martin County Sheriff William Snyder told news outlets.
She's pregnant. They have to get up and pee every 5 minutes. How did he mistake that for an intruder?
The man, maybe he was expecting somebody else to be there. The man told detectives he didn't realize his wife was not in the room. He frantically called 911 and told dispatchers he had accidentally shot his wife. The woman was taken to a hospital.
I don't believe him.
Where she was pronounced dead. Yeah, I don't believe it either. Okay, here we go. This is the sheriff. He gave us a pretty in-depth statement in which he said that he awoke in the middle of the night. Though he heard somebody in the house, went to investigate it with a handgun, saw a shape in the hallway and fired 1 round, and unfortunately, it turned out to be his wife, Snyder said. The woman was 6 months pregnant, and the doctors were able to save the baby. Deputies said a 2-year-old child was in the home when the shooting happened. The agency cited Marsy's law in not releasing the names of the woman or her husband. I don't know what that law is. This is a nightmare case, Snyder said. You know, somebody who thinks he's defending his home actually shoots his wife. The agency is conducting an investigation. So, though we do have a good statement from him, we don't take anything to face value, and we'll continue investigating through all backgrounds. There's a lot of investigative steps we'll have to make sure that he's telling the truth, said Snyder. Snyder offered a warning to people who have guns in their home. When you have a home where you have family members, you have to be even more careful and wait that extra second. Do everything you can to make sure you know what you're dealing with and when you're about to use deadly force, Snyder said. Sucks. I really enjoyed making that voice, though, even though I wasn't trying to make fun of the people. But considering I just got out of jail and stuff, it kind of reminds me of Sheriff. He reminds me of Sheriff Tommy Dick a little bit from Failsafe. Yeah, my little brother's book.
Yeah, T.J. Wall. If you want to read a uplifting book.
So this is another one where I'd like to know a little bit more about the situation. They said that the baby survived, which is pretty awesome. I'm glad about that.
This is depressing.
And it says, it is Stacy Tarot Reader says they had toddler in him too, and the dog had jumped up in bed with him, and he thought it was his wife. Don't believe the story. I don't. It's too vague anyway. Like something else happened, or the guy's full of shit, right? One of the two.
Oh.
All right. So that was from
Sickening.
WEAR, and the next one.
That's another one for Paradise After Dark.
This one this one also ties in because this is a missing person one, and this one actually pisses me off. The headline from WPRI is Massachusetts teen still missing after officers fatally shoot Florida man wanted in her disappearance. All right, so I don't know where the F up was here, but New Bedford, Mass. A Florida man wanted in connection with a Massachusetts teenager's disappearance was killed while officials were attempting to arrest him, according to the Bristol County District Attorney's Office. Luis Zaragoza, also known as Luis Barbosa, was killed in Crestview, Florida, last Thursday morning while U.S. Marshals tried to take him into custody. Do you want to take a stab at that name? Jalahia Finklia, 18 of Mashpee, is still missing after she was last seen getting into Zaragoza's rented car in New Bedford on October 20th. Finklia's family said she was 17 years old and 5 months pregnant when she was allegedly taken. She had also just started a 2-step medical procedure at a Boston clinic. Okay, what is a 2-step medical procedure. Her family was told if she didn't finish the procedure, her life would be at risk. Okay, so something...
Maybe with the pregnancy.
Okay. Quote, I just want my kid back. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling angry, Finklea's mother said. The ongoing investigation revealed that Finklea's cell phone was last used to call Zaragoza shortly before she got into his vehicle. Zaragoza then turned off his own phone, and prosecutors found Finklea's phone discarded on Route 140, 5 miles away from where she got into the vehicle. Police determined that Zaragoza left Massachusetts and traveled to Florida, then Texas, before returning to Florida. Police obtained surveillance footage of some of the places Zaragoza visited over the past 2 weeks. U.S. Marshals were able to locate Zaragoza on Wednesday night and began surveilling him. New Bedford police then got an arrest warrant for Zaragoza on charges of kidnapping and larceny of a motor vehicle. New Bedford detectives were on their way to Florida on Thursday as the U.S. Marshal's Office attempted to arrest Zaragoza at a McDonald's parking lot. Zaragoza was armed with a handgun and died during a confrontation with police, not with the U.S. Marshals. The investigation into the shooting is being conducted by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Wait a minute. Okay, Finklea is still missing, so she's probably gone, right? And he discarded her phone, and they killed the dude that confessed to it. So, like, they're going to be chasing this one forever, because he was probably the last witness to her
whereabouts.
Yeah,
and they were, I mean, anywhere from Texas to Florida.
What I'm unclear on is if the U.S. Marshals had him pinned down, why did he die at the hands of the police and not the U.S. Marshals? I mean, that something was going on. Maybe they were in communication with the police and the Marshals weren't on the scene.
Could be.
And then he started shooting bullets, and that was that. And they killed him.
Well, I mean, just because the U.S. Marshals, I mean, it's not necessarily that they were, I mean, even if he turned his phone off, we would be ignorant to think that they still can't track your phone.
You want to hear something really great?
What?
So Frito says, don't believe this. Frito says, I always loved your show before you got into the stuff, quote unquote. This reminds me of the good old days when I first started to watch you too. And then it is Stacy, a tarot reader, said, and the dog jumped in bed. Oh, I thought she was talking about the dog jumping in the frame. Because our dogs have been jumping into the picture here and there during our filming tonight. But
no, she was talking about that other case.
Yes, she was. I was scrolling back. I got super excited because I thought there was some more live interaction. I'm like, oh yeah, the dog's here, man. It's cool. So if you know where Finklea is, 508-991-6360. That's New Bedford Police, and I guess that's Massachusetts. But anyway, kind of an interesting story there. Maybe Ken and Lauren can pick that one up at Paradise After Dark. And then finally, we have the story of the Florida man arrested after a meltdown because there was no lettuce for his Checkers sandwich.
Can you blame him?
Okay, this is from New York Daily. And New York Daily has some really, really good editors. You want to read this first sentence for us, babe?
Let us calm you down, sir.
Let us calm you down.
Let us calm you down.
A Florida man was arrested this week after allegedly suffering a lettuce-related meltdown, Smoking Gun reported. Jasmine's going to get into her Mountain Dew right now. A Florida man, Henry Arce Caballero, 49, has been hit with... Did I say it right? Caballero has been hit with misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct in an establishment. I love these technical charges. They're all like these silly... failing to carry the one in a math equation. Like they're all like... as well as resisting an officer without violence. Hey, man, I don't want you to arrest me. Resisting without violence. for the incident late Wednesday when he hit the windows of a Tampa Bay area Checkers restaurant. A criminal complaint.
Okay, wait.
Is this
he
the
got
video?
arrested because he hit the window?
All right, let's find out what happened. Okay.
Let us in.
Lettuce. Hey, let us have some lettuce. A criminal complaint notes that the man was, quote, yelling and screaming at employees, who then had fear for their safety because, as the authorities say, he was upset that the store had no more lettuce for their sandwiches.
Well, that's a good-looking head of lettuce.
Oh, man, yeah. Yeah. It's nice.
Who doesn't love some good head of lettuce?
That's really good. That's good head. Cops arrived to the scene around
It's
11:30.
nice and fresh.
It's quite green. Yeah, it looks moist. Cops arrived to the scene around 11:30 to find Arque Caballero in his car, denying the allegations and refusing to identify himself. So he hung out until after the cops got there, and he's like,
Nope.
nope, not me.
Not me.
Caballero, no.
No, I don't. No, like a no, tu sé.
How do you say lettuce in Spanish?
No sé.
No sé? That means no. I don't know how to say it.
No sé.
How do you say food?
Comida.
Okay.
¿Cómo se dice?
Sir, you were complaining about the food. I was told that you banged on the window and complained about the food. Get out of your vehicle.
No entiendo.
Entiendo.
No.
Yeah, sí.
No.
Entiendo. ¿Cómo está? Get out. We're going to arrest you now because of the lettuce.
No.
Sí.
No te gusta.
Mucho gusta. Out. Guapo. Guapo. Mucho guapo. A patrolman at Ace Caballero, who was removed from his car, was uncooperative. He has since been released from county jail on his own recognizance over the incident of lettuce. And on that note, let us pray that this is our final story about only in Florida. And I think you're going to like this one a lot. It's kind of endearing. Would you like to take a stab at what it's about?
It's endearing.
It's endearing and inspiring.
I have no idea.
Beso mi labios calientes. Beso mi labios calientes. Labios. Really?
Huh?
Do I go? Labios. That's a masculine spelling. I don't know any other word though that I'm thinking of a bad word. I don't want it. Frito, what are you talking about? Beso? What does beso mean? Beso mi.
I kiss.
Labios calientes. Hot
lips.
Hot. Labios. Kiss me, hot lips. You got it. That's probably what he said, right? That's probably what Caballero said.
Kiss me, hot lips.
Kiss me, hot lips to the cop.
I doubt it.
No, I'm like mucho guapo, and he's like, beso mi labios calientes. That's a lot of phrase. That's a lot of syllables to say. Kiss me, hot lips.
Labios. I think of.
There we go. Yeah, I was thinking of.
Hot shit.
Oh, caliente.
It's got.
Okay, all right. Last but not least, Florida man is first person with Down syndrome
Yeah.
to finish Ironman triathlon, and they misspelled Down's syndrome, like the great fucking college graduates that they are. But how about this guy? Look at this guy and he's on a flat bar. Look at this. He's on a flat bar bike. Good for him. And his look how low his seat is too. Okay, we're not going to pick him apart.
Just don't think about
Panama,
fitting his bike, okay?
No,
Just do the article.
Santiago just competed in this same race. Panama City Beach, this is the big Ironman triathlon in Florida every year. It says, a 21-year-old Florida man has made history as the first person with Down's syndrome to complete an Ironman triathlon, which includes a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and a full marathon
I have goosebumps.
in a single day. No,
I
okay.
love this.
Can anybody ride Can you swim a mile? I can't.
I can when there's food involved.
I mean, can you bike ride 112 miles? Because I can't. I can do 35 probably. Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe 40. And a 26.2 mile run. That's a full marathon. So
no, I would throw up.
So in triathlon, here's the sport in triathlon. You get to swim until you drown. You get to ride until you fall over. And then when you're done, you get to go ahead and start running a full marathon. That's the sport of Ironman triathlon. So Special Olympics connected Chris Nikic with Ironman competitor Dan Grebe, who helped train him. Florida race officials required Nikic to be tethered to Grebe in the ocean Saturday for safety reasons. Grebe also rode behind Nikic on the bike course and stayed near him on the run. But Nikic did all the work on his own. It's official. Special Olympics Florida athlete Chris Nikic is an Ironman. Chris made history as the first person with Down's syndrome to finish the full triathlon. His feat landed him in the Guinness World Records and inspired so many around the world.
I love this one.
He completed a practice half triathlon earlier this year in 8 hours, 25 minutes. So he probably finished this up in somewhere around 18 to 24 hours, which is awesome.
It doesn't matter.
Look, he's not, and check out his rig. He's not strapped in. This might have been from his practice ride because it looks like he's riding along the beach. But check it out. He's got the Ironman. He's got the full Ironman tri-suit. And he's got the swim bike helmet on, which is like pretty cool. Good for him.
That is just... I like this story a lot.
I do too. So we're going to have to follow up Chris Nikic.
Yeah, I want to follow him.
So everybody, it's ChrisNikic. Full triathlon, full Ironman triathlon. First guy with Down syndrome to ever do it. And it looks like this is a picture with his coach. Let's see if we can show this on the screen here real quick. Twitter is going to be mercifully slow for us. Okay, so here's the tweet. Let's see if we can pull up the photo. So look at this. Look at his coach going with him.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, look, he's got some blood and guts on his knee. He must have had a wipeout.
Yeah.
All right, good for him. Good for Chris. Fantastic.
No, that is so awesome. And that is so inspiring. And we need that good stuff right now.
Yeah.
We do.
Yep, we sure do. And in the meantime, let's just pray for justice around the world and in our country.
Yeah.
Because we need that too.
I know this, you were just getting ready to cut things off, but this made me think of that story that I told you about the man that just completed the New York City Marathon in honor of the veterans.
Oh, yeah.
And did 26.2 miles bear crawl.
Yeah. Okay, Jazmine, tell everybody that story again in case they missed it, because that's serious shit. A full marathon, and what did the guy do?
Okay, so what are we at here? November 10th. Okay, so tomorrow's Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. And so if anybody watches this tomorrow, thank you for your service if you're a veteran. Yep. But there is a statistic. I couldn't do the 22-day push-up challenge. But I did like a 22-mile ride because it's a fact that every day 22 veterans commit suicide. So
American veterans, yes.
And to honor the veterans, this man, and I wish I had the article handy, but he did the New York City Marathon, all 26.2 miles in a bear crawl. He did not get up once.
That's awesome.
I mean, there are people who can't even do like...
Can you imagine the shape of his elbows and hands and everything by the time he was done?
But, I mean, what kind of dedication and spirit and just love for a cause. I mean, you can't get any... this story that you just said with the gentleman with Down syndrome and doing that, the Ironman, you got another man that's put himself out there for veterans and everything. I love hearing this stuff, and this is what is uplifting for me.
Yep.
So.
And for me too, and to everybody out there in Paradise and elsewhere, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
Jasmine, let everybody know how they can get a hold of us.
You can get a hold of us at Tipcast239 on Twitter, Trouble239 on Instagram, Trouble at trouble239.com to email us, Trouble in Paradise on YouTube, audio versions on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher, patreon.com/trouble239,
And I think that's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
So, Jasmine, welcome back. Second episode back after the big ordeal.
Yeah.
And as Precious Frito is prompting us to say, stay out of trouble and